Being the counselor is the most beautiful yet the most scariest job ever. It's beautiful because the student is trusting you to do one of the most important part of the application, submitting the transcripts, your recommendation, evaluation, stuff like that. But it's also super scary because, well, the life of someone, the trajectory of a life of someone depends on you. And more importantly, once you submit whatever you submitted, it can't be edited ever. And so you have to be very meticulous in what you do. You can't rush everything in 2 minutes, but everything is also fairly difficult and fairly daunting, also a lot complex, especially for someone who is not that suited into the process of admission. So here I am going to help you with sharing my screen and everything in between. Let's go. But before that, let's make something abundantly clear. Who is a counselor and who can be a counselor anyway? Counselor is something that has been created by the Western world, where the counselor essentially takes care of all the high school students in that particular high school. They keep track of their growth, if they're doing everything right, what their classes are, how they are essentially as a student. In general, Indian subcontinent, even in Asia, students or high schools tend to not have a counselor. We just have teachers. That's it. Counselors in America have a diverse set of tasks when it comes to university admission. They submit their transcripts, their recommendation letters, and provides greater context about the school. So essentially, counselors write recommendation letters for hundreds of students from the high school who are trying to apply to college in the future. You have to remember that the whole application process of the America is based on the American system. Everything you will see in CommonApp and like everywhere else is built for Americans and then expanded to international students, which makes a lot of things very confusing. And it's like CommonApp didn't even try to make it more friendly to international applicants like us. Well, we have to go through it anyway. And so most high schools in Asia tend to not have a counselor. That does not mean that students cannot apply to the US. That means a slightly different regulation applies to us. So if a counselor does not exist in the high school, then the student is allowed to assign any teacher from that school as a counselor. It can be a teacher, it can be a staff, it can be anyone affiliated with that particular high school, and they can be the counselor and do everything that a counselor is supposed to do. Now, what do you exactly need to do? What do counselors exactly do? Their primary task revolves around CommonApp. CommonApp is essentially a website through which students apply to the US. Essentially, that's it. They apply to most places in the US through this website known as CommonApp.org. Now, part of the application is counselors sending the transcripts to the universities. There's, rather than sending individual emails or individual mails to universities, there's a more efficient way. The way that they do is you upload particular documents at CommonApp by creating your own account, and then it's simple. All of them goes to the university that the student applies to. So first things first, you need to have an email address. If you don't have one, open one immediately. Give that email address to the student and your student will invite you as a counselor. You should receive an email that looks something like this. Click on that, go ahead, register and create an account. And the first thing that should pop up should look something like this. If you need to log in the future, you can click on the same email or go to commonapp.org, click on sign up, scroll down a little bit and then click on recommender login, and then log in with your email address and your password. Obviously, don't forget any of them. Okay, let's shift to screen share mode, where we will dive a little deeper into how you exactly fill up the whole form. Remember, please do spend time on this. Please don't mess up. As students, your students' future literally depends on it. Right, so after you're successfully logged in, this is how it should look like. Yours will obviously look slightly different, but this is how your profile or your interface should look like, something of this sort. It may change if you're watching this in like 2022, 2023, but yeah, it's more or less the same. Now let's complete our profile as it's suggesting us to do. I'll click on profile. Prefixes for people who have doctors or misters in there. Like I could probably give Mr. I don't know, I don't care, I'll give nothing. It's fine, it's optional. If there's a red asterisk somewhere, then it means that you must provide that value. Otherwise it's optional, it's fine. So my name, I'm going to give something random for now. I don't care. My last name is also something absolutely random. You know what, let's give my name. So obviously you'll give your name. Let's give a good precedent. The reason I'm trying to give something random is because this is a throwaway account and I will delete it in the future. Title as in the title of in your institution. So in my case, let's say I am a lecturer of chemistry. I hate chemistry. Well, not that much, but yeah. Phone number, I gave something random. I do not care. Fax, if you have a fax machine, have a fax number. Most of you won't, that's fine because this is 2021. I am skipping that. This is a random email. I had to open my throwaway account. So yeah, profile URL, I guess Facebook profile or LinkedIn profile and stuff like that. I guess we can skip that. So let's click on continue. We have school details here. So we're going to look up our school, right? And like most likely your school will not show up here, but let's try my school, Manara Dhaka. Let's see, it doesn't show up. So what I'll say is I don't see my high school in this list. As simple as that. And then I click on continue. Done. Also it'll say that okay, your high school name is this. Either way, give me some details. School type, public school is like literally public school. Charter school is slightly different. Religious school means it has religious values, or its prime one of its prime purpose is like showcase religion and like promote religion. That's one of it, if not its main purpose. Then homeschool, it probably will not apply to you, but essentially if the student has been homeschooled, or if you are filling up acting as a counselor for a student who was homeschooled. And independent means this is none. It's not a charter school, it's not public, it's not religious, it's not homeschool. It's like it's very independent, or in other words, it's technically a private school. So in my case it would be independent, although Manarath had strong religious values, which also they were successful in embedding into me. Give, I guess, I don't know, Gulshan, Dhaka, VD, done. City, I guess Dhaka. I won't fill this up. You should probably fill this up anyway. Website of the institution of your school. If there's any, just input that. I will not give here any. Now, this is an amazing place that has been additioned after the disruptions caused by COVID-19 coronavirus, or any disruption that you had due to natural disasters or anything of that sort. So there's a few bullet points and other extenuating circumstances that you may want to showcase in this specific space and show that, hey, our school suffered through all of this and this is how we changed it. Our graduation requirements changed this way. Our graduation date changed from here to here. We couldn't hold these exams. We took our exams in this way instead. Don't make it too long. The maximum word is 500. Maybe spend like a couple hundred in it, unless you'll have to like explain something very deeply, go in depth and all. But yeah, this is a pretty good place for you to explain any problems that your school faced or anything at all. This is a very nice addition. For now, I'll write like, but you get the point. You can like talk to your heart's content. This section isn't that important. A school profile essentially means that it's a school profile honestly has like whatever is being asked here. Technically the school profile has that. A school profile is essentially a summary of that particular school, what the school is the school has students from playgroup kindergarten to like grade 12 high school. Is the school only from 9 to 12? What options do the student have for their exams? How the exams are administered? So the school profile is that. It's fairly optional. If you don't have it, that's fine, but it's recommended to include one if you do have one. So if you can make one for your future students, that's something wonderful as well. So it's pretty optional. When are mid-year grades typically available? I'm gonna skip it for now. After a while we'll talk about mid-year grades, then you can understand what they're exactly asking for here. But generally it's around like December or January of that specific year. For me, I'll be like December 30. Now it's a typically doesn't have to be exact. They just want a basic number that admission officer can look up to in the future if they want. Graduating class science means how many students will approximately will graduate in that year. So, or typically graduates from your high school. It may differ, like it may be in one year it's 150, another year it's 200. That's fine. It's they just want a basic idea. In my case, I think it was 150-ish, so I put 150. These are tend to be stuff that Americans want now. As you have already understood, the Common App and everything is actually made, geared towards and shaped towards American applicants. So these are data that some American high schools will actually have or actually guess. Now 2-year colleges and 4-year colleges in America are different. In your case, it's very likely you have none of this data. So just keep through all of this. If you have, if you can guess, then probably like give 98%, because 98% of all students end up going to university. So that's an amazing addition. By the way, college is the same as university in American terminology. So yeah, Hispanic or Latino, again, see, so I'm from Bangladesh. I don't think I've ever seen a Hispanic or Latino, at least in my high school. So this was geared towards American students and so American high schools. And so like if you can skip this, again, you probably don't have the data by yourself, but like I'm assuming you can technically guess, so it will be 0. American Indian 0. Asian, honestly I think it was 100% in my high school. I'm from an Asian country. 0, you get the point. White 0. First generation means whose parents did not go to university, did not go to college. You probably don't have the data, skip it. So again, these are stuff that some high schools tend to have, some do not. It's fine, they don't care. Honestly, these aren't even that important. So okay, I am not going to go and all this. Oh, school setting, rural, suburban, urban. Rural means in the villages ish, not in the city. Urban means in the city. Suburban means somewhere in between urban and rural. So yeah, cool. Which of the following courses are offered by your school? Americans or some Indians, some Indian high schools tend to have AP. IBs are also in Bangladesh, some Asian communities, or Cambridge. In my case, it was Cambridge, right? So I will put on Cambridge. If it's none, then just put none. That's fine. Just don't click put any one of this. Maybe, yeah, nah, just don't put any of this. Simple. So in my case, it was Cambridge. I'll say number of Cambridge courses offered. I guess I have like Marath has like 10 different Cambridge courses. Now maximum number of Cambridge courses a student can take. I don't think there's a maximum, but people tend to like maximum 5. I'll say 6. Our class is taken on a block schedule. It's a no graduation date of the next graduation date the school will have. Now it may differ. So for example, the last class I had in high school was around April. The last exam I gave was around June, and the results, final results, Cambridge from Cambridge that I got was in August. So which one do I give? It's complicated. Just give the one you think makes the most sense and ask your student to give the same one in their Common App. It's not that relevant or that important. That's fine. Relax. It doesn't have to be that accurate. So different people give 3 different ones of all of this. So I guess I'm just gonna give the result one August. Let's say the result will come in August 14. So yay. Is the school located outside the United States? Yes. Do you use an AP curriculum? In my case, no. If I say yes, I don't know, nothing happens. No. Did you complete app link ratings in the Common App school report? Do you complete? So it essentially means that you'll see in a school report section, they will ask us for some ratings. It's best to say yes, because then you can provide ratings and the admission officers can see that. You can check out and see what if you have answered no. I'll give yes for now. In my case, it's no. I think for most people, you do not require volunteer service. So yay, continue. And then do you report class rank? In some cases, it's none. If you do report, then give exact, or if you don't, give none. You may report in decile, quantile, quartile. So essentially, those are like percentages. In I think in case of quartile, it will be like top 25%. Right, so all the students in top 25% will be said that hey, you are in the top 25% of this class, right? In exact, it's like you are given you are ranked 1, you are ranked 2, you are ranked 5th, you are ranked 10th, you are ranked 100th, right? In decile, it's like you are ranked in top 10%, stuff like that. And so I think quantile is like top 1%, top 2, 3, I'm not sure. So you would probably know in what way your institution provide, like reports rank. If they report, give the appropriate one. If they don't, just give none, and then cool, you don't have to report ranks in the future anymore. It's not a problem, it's not an issue. Different universities have, sorry, different high schools have different like systems, and that's absolutely fine. That's something they understand. That's why that's the whole purpose of all this section. They're trying to understand how your high school operates. So yeah, you report GPA. In my case, it was a big no. They don't. You may report to it and just give yes, and then they'll ask you a bunch of questions that, hey, what's your GPA scale? Is it out of 5, out of 4? Start date, end date, like from which day to which day is this GPA valuable? True for. So for example, maybe the GPA, my GPA in high school say was 3.7. So okay, so how did you actually calculate this? Is it like, oh, it's a date, my bad. Anyway, so how did you exactly calculate this? Is it from the GPA from say 2018 to 2020, and then the GPA is 4.7. So they're trying to ask that. GPA weighting, I won't go too much into this, but essentially for all of us, for most of us outside America, and like I guess outside the Western countries, it will be unweighted. So in America, they have, their system is different, right? Their system is that they do not have final board exams like we tend to do. Each school has different courses, different curriculums, and different final exams. Now, weighted GPA means some courses are harder and some are easier. So some students may take calculus maths courses, some may take like easier, say, geography courses. I'm not dissing geography, it's the first thing that came into my mind. And so since another student took a harder calculus maths course, for that particular course, their GPA will be weighted higher. That will be given a greater importance compared to the geography course, because that calculus course is harder, more difficult. And so in that weighted GPA, what essentially happens is that each courses have different weights and different effect on that GPA. So Americans tend to have a weighted GPA and unweighted GPA, stuff like that. We don't have that. I'm just going to give it unweighted. In our case, it really doesn't matter. If you're confused between any of these, just ignore. School's passing mark, how much it takes for you to pass. I guess 50%. I honestly do not know. Highest grade, honestly, it was, I think, less 4.00. So these are very self-explanatory. I'll just give no, because in my case, nobody reported GPA in my high school. So yeah. Our current course is listed on transcript, so you'll see what the transcript means. It has all the results of grade 9 to 12, all the board exams and everything. So are the current courses listed on the transcript means the current courses the student took or the latest courses student took. So our current courses student is taking or the latest course student took. So are they like given, like, hey, this student took like chemistry, maths, physics, stuff like that, and maybe their grades accompanied with that as well. In my case, it was a yes. I'll just say yes. Are college entrance examination scores included with or visible on the transcript? So college entrance examination scores are SAT exams, ACT exams. These tend to be not included in transcript visible. If they are amazing, just put yes, then they'll understand, oh, these are visible. In my case, it wasn't, so I'll just keep no. Simple. Please indicate the most recent grades included on the transcript accompanying this form. So this is a hard question. I'm just gonna skip it right now. We're going to probably see this a bit later. Then you will understand what this exactly means. It's hard for me to explain right now, but I'll just click continue. We're going to see this later. International school. What is the primary language of the instruction in your secondary school? In my case, it was English. So in what language does your high school exactly teach? So different university high schools have different methods, different language through which they teach. In my case, the classroom, the teachers always taught in English, and for whatever subject that is, except if their subject is Bengali. In many high schools in Bangladesh, they taught in native language Bengali. So give whatever the truth value is. Okay, this is important. Is promotion within your educational system based upon the standard living examinations given at the end of lower and or secondary high school by state or national living exam board? Students studying in US typically answer no to this question. So what does this exactly mean? So it means that, so again, American system and the international or Asian system tend to be different. In America, there's no higher state sponsored board exam. In our case, we have A levels. Indians, I think, have CBRE or something. Like, there's one particular exam that every high school student of that grade at one particular time shows up in a designated spot, and then they give exam together, right? They give that exam on one particular paper, and then everyone, like, the point is there's one exam sponsored by some board or some entity that everyone gives, and then, like, that you get the results. American is different. There's no like one singular exam that everyone has to give. Like, there's no state sponsored exam, nothing. Each school has its own curriculum, own results, and like they say, each school said that, hey, this student passed, this student passed, this student passed, all cool. In our case, the school don't say that, tend to not say that this student passed. The school helps us prepare for another exam, the higher exam, A level exam, board sponsored exam, HSC exam, stuff like that. And then the student gives that particular exam, and then like you're either passed or you either failed, tend to be. So in America, it's not the case. It's like each school decides and everything. There's no big, huge exam. Each school has its own curriculum and everything. And so there's no state or national living examinations board or anything, right? There's no A levels, there's no HSC, stuff like that. Americans will answer no to this. Americans, if you are studying IB, International Baccalaureate, then the answer will be yes. But for most Americans, it will be no. For most Asian schools, I think it will be yes, because there's a overarching board exam that everyone tends to give. In my case, it was yes. So yeah, this is a very important distinction that people tend to not understand what it is. This is a grading system. What it exactly means, maybe your high school or your board exam or whatever has a different grading scale. Like maybe A in America is 95 to 100, B is, I don't know, 85 to 95, right? Or maybe in my case, it's literally A, B, C, D. For F, it's actually U. So essentially, different boards and different ways have different ways of grading. In Cambridge, I had A star, B, C, D, and for fail, we didn't have F, we had U. I think India, they give in percentages rather than in like letter grades. So you just put that. So whatever is true in your case, just give that. It doesn't have to be that accurate, that exact. Look up the, I guess, grading system in American high schools, right? And then probably see, all right, so okay, this is GPA. I don't know, you'll probably find something here. There you go. These are the percentage grade. Just follow one, and then congratulations, you'll probably find something. So I click on continue. Certifications, what is this? I have no clue. Okay, by checking this box, I certified that I will upload a PDF of each student's transcript for basically, you are certifying that you are supposed to upload a PDF of each student's transcript, and that you will blah blah blah. Just read through this. Is pretty self-explanatory. I understand. Okay, cool, all cool. And then I click on something. My profile is more or less done. Yeah, you'll see how helpful that is. Now, these are my students, right? These are the students that I have, right? So these are the sections, profile. This is the profile I filled up right now. And these are my students. Now, the student, I have only one student right now who requested transcripts and everything from me. How do they request? You give your email address, and then they assign you as a counselor. That's on student's part. You don't have to do anything, and that's front. Now, I have only one student whose name is Hello Throwaway. Like, this is a throwaway account. I used it from a random email, so that's why my name is Hello Throwaway. Random name that came into my mind. So I clicked on my student, and there are a bunch of things. Now there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stuff. We will go through each one of them, so bear in mind. Oh wow, my Hello's birthday is June 14. Again, something random I gave. Now, Hello Throwaway is going to apply to 2 universities, Colgate and Yale. He can add other universities later on, up to 20 if he wishes. So after a while, I don't care. He can apply as many as he wants, up to 20. But you can see where it's going to apply. In Yale, there's no deadline that I selected. In Colgate, Hello Throwaway is going to apply to early decision. So we're going to talk about that a bit later. But yeah, this is the student's information. Okay. Should we go to school report first? Let's go to fee waiver because this is important. So CommonApp has a system. the student can say that, hey, I am not financially that stable or not financially well enough that I will be able to pay the application fees of each university. All right, that's something that the students may indicate in their Common App profile. When they indicate, they also indicate that, okay, I'm not financially able, and my counselor can verify that. So when they say that, you will get this fee waiver option. Okay. Now it says the student must at least meet one of the following indicators of economic need. So these are a lot of stuff. Is the student eligible to receive an ACT or SAT testing fee waiver? For international students, that's sadly no, because international students do not receive one. So I will not give a tick mark on this. Federal free or reduced price lunch program for American citizens, it's applicable. They'll do something. USDA, again, it's American. This is American. Maybe this could be true for you, because for that particular student, if that particular student's family actually receives public assistance from their local government or something. This could be true. Maybe student is maybe homeless, ward or state orphan, but like people tend to not select any of this but select this. It says that given my knowledge of the student's family circumstances, and after reviewing the eligibility guidelines, I believe that the providing the application fee would present a hardship. So essentially what you're saying is that I believe, as far as I know the particular student, is that that student will not be able to pay the application fees associated with the universities. For most people, this is true. This is absolutely true, and you as a counselor should not hesitate to exactly click this button, because it's absolutely fine. For Americans, $100 is probably not that much. People tend to spend $100 in a random restaurant sometime, even if they're like not that rich. But for us, $100 is a lot. $100 is literally some family's income, and those that sons and daughters of those families may actually go ahead and apply. Even if their family's income is like $2,000, $100 may not be affordable. So it's absolutely fine for you to go and give this, especially if the student is an international student, because it's hard for us to actually go ahead and apply. So that's absolutely fine. So you click on review and submit. You give your signature, you sign and say that, okay, everything I say is true, blah, blah, blah. Just obviously read all of this. My name is whatever, and today's date is 25th October. Nice. I submit, and from this point onwards, each and every university that particular student applies to, he/she shall not need any application fee. Sometimes the university forces that student to pay application fees, but generally I applied to like 53 places, and there's only like 3 places I had to pay my application fees towards, and 2 of them were in Canada, where you have to must pay, and 1 of them were American universities. So out of all the 51 American universities that I applied to, actually only 2 American universities asked application fees from me in the end. So it's fine. The universities understand, they won't demand except some. So, and universities like won't like come towards you as a counselor that, hey, are you really sure? Hey, like, it's fine, right? This is very, very standard, and there's no issue with it. Okay, cool. We spent a lot of time on this. Maybe let's go to counselor recommendation, and then we'll go to school report and other stuff. And then, yeah. So essentially, how long have you known this student? I guess 5 years. In what context? As his debate moderator, right? All cool. Was the first words that come onto your mind describe the student? So this is optional, and people tend to skip this, but I think this is important, because these are first words that the admission officer will see and create a basic understanding of what the student is, what the counselor thinks the student is. So in my case, maybe it's dumb, boring, stupid, right? Obviously don't provide, if you think that's true, then provide this, but generally it's probably something going to be smart, intellectual, hardworking, stuff like that. But I'll set up in my case, right? So just put in 3, 4, 5, I guess, 1, 2, whatever things that comes into your mind. Now this is the main space for you to provide a recommendation. So you have 2 options. First, you can upload a particular document, and then which has the recommendation for the particular student. 2 things to note. First, that document can be like anything. It can be a piece of paper that you signed, you handwritten, it's printed and then you signed it, sorry, or it can be on a school letter pad, which is like more official and looks nicer, by the way, and then you can sign it. It can be anything. Second thing is that recommendation letters are supposed to be not university specific. So once you upload this, it will go to every university that student applies. So do note that you are not supposed to mention a specific university. So even though hello throwaway, as we saw, is applying to Yale and Colgate only, I shouldn't mention Yale and Colgate here because I don't want Colgate to know that he's applying to Yale. I don't want Yale to know that he's also applying to Colgate. Hello throwaway is also applying to Colgate. But also maybe my hello throwaway student will not only apply to Yale and Colgate, but 100 like other universities as well. Now they'll know that, okay, they applied to Yale and Colgate. Like, it doesn't look professional. It doesn't look personalized to that particular college. Maybe it makes them feel that they're second options. So don't mention which university. Maybe say to whom it may concern, to the admissions committee or stuff like that. That's absolutely fine. So you have two options, either like upload that particular document or literally type it here. That's absolutely fine. Both works. There's not that big of a preference for admission officers. I think uploading on a school letterhead like makes it more officialish. So that's one thing you may consider. If you wouldn't provide a recommendation letter to them, then say that, okay, I will not be sending an evaluation for the student, and explain why. I highly suggest you to like send an evaluation, because the student is depending on you, and your recommendation letter will probably help. And then I'll say, this is probably review this. This is exactly what the admission officer will see, except the preview word, exactly what the admission officers from that universities, like from admission officers from Yale and Colgate, will receive. So see if everything's fine, and then click on I have reviewed it, I'm signing, give your signature, date, and then submit. Now, very important thing to note, once you submit this, you will not be able to edit it. So please check it multiple times, see if anything's wrong. Like, once you submit this, you will not be able to edit it. So be careful. So yeah, that's something very, very important. I'm not going to submit it. It's like, let's keep it here for now. Let's move on to other section. Let's assume you are done with this counselor recommendation already. Let's go to early decision agreement. What's this? So my student has indicated that he's going to early decision to Colgate University. Now, all you say is that as the counselor, I have advised the student to abide by the early decision commitment outlined above. This is the early decision commitment outlined above. So essentially, we're saying that I know and what early decision is, and I have told the student that, hey, please abide by this, blah, blah, blah. You did your job. Now, what is early decision, right? What is the early decision agreement? It essentially means that my student has decided to commit to Colgate University if Colgate University decides to admit him. So if Colgate University essentially says that, okay, I'm admitting you, then my student, hello throwaway, decided that I will attend Colgate no matter what, and not any other university. If he teaches Colgate and goes to another university, that is illegal. So I talk a lot about this in other videos. You may watch that, but essentially that's the gist of what early decision is. So sign here, give the date, and then review and submit. All cool. Congratulations. So yeah, that's the early decision agreement. Simple and succinct. Like, probably don't submit something that you do not know. Maybe understand what early decision is. Ask your student to not break any laws, and that's it. It's pretty standard. So that's not an issue. Cool. We are done with the easy stuff. Let's go to what the other stuff is. So this is important. Let's look at what we have left. School report, optional report 2, media report, final report. Out of all of this, we will only submit school report. We will skip all of this because these are not important, as you will see soon. So school report is where you submit the student's transcript, right? So I'm going to skip over all of this because we discussed all of this a while back, like when we were building our profile. It already has all my answers here. I'm just going to click so is the applicant an IB diploma candidate? Maybe they are, say yes. In comparison to the college preparatory students at your school, the applicant's course selection is. So as I talked about, America tends to have a different curriculum. They have like options of courses the student can take. Some has easier courses, some have fairly difficult courses. So some like may decide that I'll take calculus. Some's like, no, I will not take calculus ever. So based on other students, how this particular student is, you will indicate this here. In Asia, in my case, we had choices of A levels, and some people, I took like fairly demanding courses. Some people took like 5 courses. I took like 4 science subjects and maths. So in my case, it will probably be very demanding. It doesn't matter too much, especially if the student has no options. So like, I guess then they prefer not to respond, or like very demanding, most demanding, I guess something of that sort. So if it doesn't apply to you. Advanced Cambridge Diploma Candidate ACE, it's like after you finished O and A levels, if the student has finished O and A levels, then they can go and give this. In my case, that's a no. I don't know anyone who went for ACE. AP Capstone Diploma, no. If is any of these true, you will probably know. So yeah, okay, ratings. How do you rate this applicant in terms of academic achievements? In my case, I guess my counselor would have given me top 10%. I was never like at the absolute top. So whatever's true for that particular student. These are pretty self-explanatory. In extracurriculars, maybe I am one of the top few. Personal qualities and character, maybe below average, who knows. Then how do you rate this applicant overall? Below average, right? Maybe I'm below average, who knows. I'm just gonna give below average. Okay, this is probably the most important part, right? Indicate the number of official transcripts you can provide for this applicant. Okay, I'll give 2 for now. So this is literally the most important part of, I believe, this whole everything right here, right? Number of official transcripts. What are transcripts? Transcripts are basically, well, results of that particular student from grade 9 to 12, including any board exams they have given so far. So you could put 2, you could put 3, you could put 4, it doesn't matter. The point is, these are options, and the way, as you will see, the way you upload anything and everything here depends on your personal preference and the way you want to submit, rather than any strict guideline. There's no correct way of filling any of this up. It really depends on you. So maybe I want to give 1, right? And then I'll upload each and everything that I have, each and every transcript that I have right here. I will merge all the transcripts, all the results that student have in one singular PDF, and then upload them here, right? Even then, even if like upload, there's like, you can add 3 different files, maybe 3 different PDFs. That's fine, however you want. Or maybe you want like 4, right? You want to upload grade 9 here, then 10 here, then 11 here, 12 here. That is absolutely fine. No matter how you want, it doesn't matter, however you wish. So like in my case, I think I had all of my transcripts in one singular PDF. So this is my transcript. It's like my school's internal exams of grade 9 and 12. This is what I got in my O-level exam. Also, like, this is certificate, I guess. This is college transcript. I mean, in Bangladesh, they call grade 11 and 12 college. So this is what I received in grade 11, in high school, blah, blah, blah. This is what I received in grade AS exam. So this is more or less everything I attached right here. What you could do is, you could like submit these pages as one file, these pages as one file, this doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. Actually, nobody really cares. It's fine no matter how you do it. So just, I guess, do anything that you want. I'll upload something random from here, what I have, and then click on review. It will ask you to review. Yeah, this files looks exactly how I want it to look, and then just click on upload and say yes. Our current courses listed on this transcript. In my case, it was the courses that I was undertaking to give A levels exam. Those were listed on the transcript. Yay. College entrance examination, I explained already, it's no. I affirm that I have uploaded transcript to the school report, blah, blah, blah. Look at this. Blah. Please indicate the most recent grades included on the transcript accompanying this form. So I just uploaded my transcript or the other transcripts that I had, right? All cool. However, it could be that the student you uploaded the transcript for has already passed grade 12. It could be the student is currently studying in grade 12, right? In America or in Western countries, you tend to apply when you are still studying in grade 12 and you still did not give the grade 12 exams. That's fine. That's the standard. If you apply after you have graduated, you accrue 1 gap year. That's fine as well. So in Asian countries, in Asian communities, we tend to graduate from high school first and then apply to university. It's different in America. So it can be like any either of this. That's fine. So in that case, if that student is still studying in grade 12, then the latest latest result that the student have may not be final senior year grades, because they still didn't give the grade 12 exam, they're still studying there. So it will probably final junior year grades. Maybe they have already given a test exam, a mock exam of some sort, of something of that sort, and that may be there. You can indicate any of this. Or maybe the student has already graduated from grade 12, and you have that result and you have attached it there. Just give on click this. So honestly, it depends on a lot of factors, depends on each individual student. So give what is the truth, what applies for that particular student. Right now, if I applied like today, I would select this because I had my grade 12 exams. Back in my days, however, I believe my counselor gave final junior year grades because, well, applied during grade 12 and I did not have any exams. My latest results were my final junior year grades. Junior year essentially means grade 11. Senior year means grade 12. These are like American terminology that you should know. So yeah, I recommend this student enthusiastically with whatever is true. Maybe for me, in my case, maybe it's with the reservation. Who knows? So we filled it up this up already a while back, so it's like automatically filled up for us. And then I click on review and submit. All section of school report. What did I not fill up? Oh, has applicant already taken leaving exams? So leaving exams means, as we talked about a bit earlier, the exams that will essentially make the absolute final exams that will make them graduate. So in our case, in my case, it was grade 12 final exams, the A-levels exams, I mean the grade 12 final exams of that particular student. If it's yes, give yes. If it's no, it's no. Cool. If yes, they're also asking for you to give that particular student's examination results, grade 12 results, just attach it here. Maybe you already attached in this transcript, that's fine as well. Maybe attach it again, that's all cool. Also, they're asking that, hey, if the secondary, if they already gave the exam but still do not have the result, please indicate predicted result. Predicted results mean essentially it's a piece of document that says that, hey, this student will give exams on these subjects and I assume that the student will get this and this and these grades for this and this and these subjects, right? So that's essentially it, right? And so you will probably attach it here. If that particular student is currently in grade 12, still didn't give grade 12 exams, you may also have had attached it on this transcript as well, that I guess that this student will get these grades in grade 12 final exams. That's helpful for the admission officer to understand how that particular student is doing right now. That's optional, that's not mandatory, but yeah, I'm just going to give it no for simplification's sake. Anyway, I click review and submit, and then this is exactly what the admission officer will see when you submit this, like literally except this preview part, which is watermark, but exactly what they'll see. So see, review this, see if everything's fine, download, blah, blah, blah. And remember, once you review this and like submit this, you will not be able to edit this anymore. I'll show you literally. There's one caveat I'll show you, but you will not be able to like edit this anymore. So like I submitted this, right? School report, done, submitted, done. I don't think, yeah, done. I have no way to like edit this. Done. I have no way to edit this. So please report, like edit, check every value that you have a million times, because it's important, right? It's important for you to not mess up. It's important for you to not, because a student's career path, a student's future depends on you. So do it properly. Next, the biggest hurdle done. What are optional report? What are optional report 2, midday report, final report? So optional report is literally optional. This is literally optional. So maybe you want to update a transcript or predicted grades. Maybe you want to include a predicted grades that you didn't include before. Maybe the student's class rank changed, GPA changed, you get the point, or maybe some other correction or update. If you want to include something else that you hadn't included here due to mistake or whatever, or there's any change for that particular student, then you will update it here in optional report. If you have submitted optional report already and you still want to update something else again, then optional report 2 will come. It doesn't even allow me to do anything because I have to first submit optional report 1 and then I can submit optional report 2. Optional report is truly optional and 99% of people will never ever even touch this. Simple. I'm going to go for media report a bit later. Let's go for final report first. Final report is essentially the final results of that particular student. It will probably be the last result of that grade 12. Now, what people generally sometimes do is they give the final report here, blah blah blah, and then attach the grade 12 results of that particular student if they have that. My suggestion is, and what people suggest is, do not even touch this. It's fine. Final report is essentially useless and it's there for like placeholder purposes. If you ever need this in the future, you are not even supposed to complete this when you have like finished the school report. It's supposed to like stay there. That's fine. You like don't even touch this. Even if you have the grade 12 results of that particular student, attach everything that you have here. If like as you noticed, grade 9, 10, 11, 12, every result I had, I included it here. You don't have to even touch this. Just forget, you don't have to touch this. You're not even supposed to touch this right now. So some people will think that, hey, I want to include grade 12 results here, like transcripts here, attach the applicant's final official transcript, including a transcript legend, like official transcript. Technically, we already submitted it here. The point is, I won't go too in depth into this, but the point is there are certain scenarios where you may need this, but you shouldn't submit this. If you submit this, then it's like you have submitted everything, you have nothing else. You can't even submit all of this because, hey, you just gave the final, the student has no affiliation with that particular your high school anymore, blah blah blah. The point is, it's optional. It's truly optional. You do not have to give this, right? Optional is optional. Final report is optional as well. I won't get too in depth into this because that will confuse you a lot more, but final report is optional. Okay, cool. Optional, and like from my end, suggested to not even input anything into this. So in my case, my counselor never even filled up the final report to this date, and I'm studying at University of Texas at Dallas. My friends are studying in many places and they never submitted final report, so their counselors never submitted, so that's absolutely fine. So yeah, okay, what is media report? When you submit school report, you are not, well, not supposed to, most people will not be able to submit the media report when they have already submitted their school report. So I submitted, let's say I study in grade 12 right now, right? Sorry, the Hello Through Away studies in grade 12 right now, right? And I submitted my school report, every result that I had up till that particular moment. So obviously I do not have his grade 12 results. I gave his results up till grade 11, whatever I have up till that moment. So like grade 9, 10, 11, right? I gave everything. Media report essentially means that he's studying in grade 12, right? And I will probably, my high school will probably have an exam in December, January. It's a test exam, mock exam, whatever. Most schools have that. And the results will probably come around late December, maybe early January, late January. I don't know. The point is, I will have an exam and I will get the result of it later. But I can't include that in the school report because I've already submitted that, right? How do I make that update to the university? That's helpful for university because now they can get our latest result and can consider it for their for the evaluation of the particular student. So media report is supposed to be filled up when you have the result of that particular student's mid-year results, like end of December, early January. It's not supposed to be filled, like you can definitely fill it when you fill school report, but for most people, some people like literally submit the school report in like October and then submit this media report as late as February. That's fine. That's absolutely fine because the reason this media report exists is because CommonApp and universities understand that that sometimes you get media reports later on, sometimes not. It's most of the time media report is available later, and so you can just say, okay, I don't report school year, the GPA, I don't report GPA, and then upload that particular student's latest transcript or what they got in that grade 12 and in that particular exam, right? So just upload that. Cool, you upload and then continue, blah blah blah, everything all cool, right? However, the point is, and then like also give what applies here. Maybe it's first semester senior year grades, senior year grade 12 first semester grades, first exam grades, right? Okay, now it could be that the particular student you are filling this student information and everything from already graduated from high school. They have already given their grade 12 exams. What do? You included grade 9, 10, 11, 12, everything here, right? So what do? Do you like give mid-year report here, and you maybe skipped final report because I suggested you to, even you though you have grade 12 results, optional report you didn't include anything because it's optional and you do not need to upload anything. But that student already is like graduated grade 12 and you included everything here. So do we need to include here anything here? The answer is yes and no. No, because you do not need to report any mid-year update for that particular student because you submitted everything already here, and he's like, you already have given the final results of that particular student in the school report. You need not like upload anything here. However, some people may be paranoid that, hey, mid-year report, I need to submit something, I need to do something. What do? I should probably do something. I'm a counselor. Maybe the student is paranoid that, hey counselor, please submit something, I don't know. Then I guess just go and upload a result here, the mid exam that you had in for the particular student in grade 12, upload that. But like technically you have submitted everything here, it's not really necessary. So it's for that particular student, this really doesn't apply if they've already graduated grade 12 and you have submitted everything here. So yeah, just skip that here. But and then like no yes, then review and submit, and then voila, you'll just go submit, and then yeah. And also true, as just as school report, just as counselor recommendation, just as everything else, once you submit, you will not be able to edit it anymore. So please, whatever you submit here, whatever it is, check it 10 times before you submit, because a student's future literally depends on your click of a button. So yeah. All right, cool. This is more or less it. This is it. If you have like 2, 3, 4 students, you'll have to repeat this process for every one of them. But yeah, I'm very happy that you undertook this step and trying to change a life. Thank you. This is the presentation that I had. Hour-long presentation. Congratulations, you are more or less done with your job as a counselor. As a counselor, your job honestly does not end here. The university themselves may email you in the future for additional context. Sometimes they call you on your phone, which is, I think, very, very rare as a US admission, in the US admission system. I know that happens in Canadian admission, where they literally directly call the high school to know more about the student. Now, sometimes they email to learn more about you, so keep an eye on your email to check and see if there are any emails from the university at all. So keep an eye out. As a counselor, you are also supposed to like guide that particular student and all. Now, everything that I did here and everything that you are supposed to do may seem a lot daunting and may seem like you are trespassing on a path that is very, very risky, because if you mess up something, they will kill you. That's very unlikely to happen. I mean, not literally killing you. Even if you mess up something, it's very unlikely they will blame you on a large extent. Like, that doesn't happen. They'll understand. A small mistake doesn't matter much anyway. If there's a big mistake, all it does is that it ruins the student's future rather than having a huge problem on your end, right? Nothing will happen to you. But let's assume that you lied on your whole application. You gave horrific transcripts. You did the worst possible job anyone could ever do. Even and like you get caught from the university. Even then, the university is unlikely to do anything to you. They will very likely not take any legal steps on you, because you live on another country. For them to have a legal case against you is expensive, time consuming. It's probably not worth it unless you massively messed up or massively lied or something. So it's very unlikely for them to pursue. The likely thing that to happen is that your university's, your institution's name will be tarnished and your personal reputation will be gone. So that's like, even in the absolute worst case scenario, it's very unlikely you'll ever do that. But even if you mess up slightly, it really doesn't matter. It's not an issue. Nobody will come after you. They don't even care. So yeah, anyway, I'm very happy that you took this job to help a student out. It's very nice. The student will remember your name for the foreseeable future. I remember my counselor's name because she helped me out a lot. So please help your student out. They will be very, very grateful to you. And yeah, bye.